Hey, what's up? It's Dean Soto with Freedom in 5 Minutes, and this is part 3 of this series on developing better delegation skills. I think this is going to be the last one, unless you have in the comments something that, like a question or something that goes along with this. But we're just going to hit it with this last one, at least for now, and maybe we'll have a part 4. I don't know. I don't know. But, but this is what we're going to do right now, and this is what we're so this is one that plagues a lot of people, and it's getting dragged back into stuff, right? Even when you've told somebody, hey, I need you to do this, anytime you do this, you get dragged back in some fashion or another. So I have one client who he has a real estate company, but a lot of his employees are actually family members. And so they feel a lot more entitled to come in and ask a ton of questions and to drag him back into things. And so one of the things for him, the big thing for him, is that he ended up doing documented processes so that he always knows he has consistency. So documented step-by-step processes, a standard operating procedure, which you've heard me harp on in the last few series. Pretty much every video that you see from Freedom in 5 Minutes is going to be based around the concept of having a standard operating procedure, concept of having processes, something of that nature, step by step, documented, not video, not training, actual step by step procedures on how to do something. So he had that done, and what he found. So there's two parts to this. One is. Sorry. The one is I actually need to set up a process. I just got a text from somebody who is one of my sales guys who doesn't know how to send an email with Close CRM, is what we use. And I actually need to send a process for that for him. All right. So see, I make mistakes too. I get dragged back into things too every now and then, but that will be done in a process. But so it's really a two-part thing, right? One is having the process that you know that they can actually do. If the process is clear, if the process is working, you can have them actually do it, and you know that they can do it. That's one thing. The next thing is more of a mindset shift of the employee, the mindset shift of the person who is actually on your team, and giving them and empowering them to do the process, right? So, and that a lot of that time entails a lot of breaking of bad habits, especially when people have been used to coming to you all the time to answer specific things. One of the ways that I was able to make this go away. So anyway, before I get into that, with him, he had to essentially make himself completely unavailable. He's told them, you have everything that you need. Do not come to me for decisions. If they're in this realm, if they're in these processes, do not come to me for decisions on those. Make your own decisions. You're not going to mess up. I'm not going to be mad at you, because the process, if something messes up, it's actually the process and not you. And we can fix the process. And if there's something wrong in the process, you're not to blame, because that is actually what the step-by-step process is. And with that, he was able to see his company grow, because people started taking that and they felt more empowered to make those decisions, knowing that even if they messed up, it was not their fault. It was the process's fault, right? Now, if they didn't follow the process, that's on them. But for the most part, as long as they did everything in the process, they were totally fine. And that's the cool thing about processes. You can say that to people. If you follow the process, you follow what is actually on there, and you don't deviate, you're fine. If something happens, it's the process that's messed up, right? It's the process that's messed up. So I can't blame you. Don't worry about it. We'll fix the process, and it's great, because now we know what needs to be fixed. We fix it, and then we move on, and it's great. That is a hugely powerful delegating tool, right? And so I actually had to do this with a piece of software that I support, that I'm a partner in. And what was happening was I would get these customer service. We do the customer service portion of it, and I'd get all these customer service questions. Kept on getting dragged back in, back in, back in. But so what we ended up doing was creating a process, a documented process using the Freedom in 5 Minutes method. If you go to freedomin5minutes.com, you can see how to do it. It's 5 minutes, 10 minutes of your time, and you can have a process completely done, step by step, documented, and everything like that. So anyway, we did that, and part of the process was to create a frequently asked questions document. And what would happen is, if the question, so first things first, you get a question from a customer and you don't know what the answer is, go to the frequently asked questions, the internal frequently asked questions document, search. If it's in there, use the answer that's in the frequently asked questions. If it's not in there, then go ahead and ask me or ask your supervisor, right? Once the answer is given, put that answer into the frequently asked questions. And toward the beginning of that software, supporting the software, in the beginning I would get questions and I have to give answers. I have to give answers. And then slowly, it kind of was like, it was actually kind of like this. Slowly, I would get less and less questions, and then all of a sudden, I got no questions. I barely ever get any questions whatsoever. The only questions I ever get is if it's a technical question that I need to get the software developers to fix. Okay, if I need to get the actual owner, the developer, to fix that, it's really the only thing. I can even have my guys start texting if that's the case. But here's the big thing: is that I did not have to. This is the cool part. I didn't have to continually get dragged back into answering these questions, because they were constantly filling out that and populating that frequently asked questions, because that was part of the documented process, was to go and populate that frequently asked questions, so it never had to happen again. So you can do things like that. When you have a process, it makes it a lot easier to not get dragged back into the day-to-day. Right? To not get dragged back into the day-to-day, it makes it a ton easier, and you're able to empower your staff to really own what they're doing without feeling pressured, without feeling like if they mess up, they're going to be hurt, or they're going to lose their job or whatever. Because if it's the process that's wrong, that's the process. You're the one that's at fault for that, right? So all that being said, like, one of the best things you can do if you're feeling like you're getting dragged back in is start creating documented processes, and then start delegating and saying, hey, here's the process. If you have any questions, here's a frequently asked questions thing that we can populate. If you get the answer from me, put it in there, but search that first. Whatever, as long as you have that process, you're going to find that it's much easier to not get dragged back in to the day-to-day. So hope that was helpful. That's the end of this series of developing better delegation skills. I'll probably do more later. I don't know. And you might see a part 4, but at least for now, we're going to stop. We're going to talk about something else. But if you have any questions, comments, please leave them below. Subscribe, like, all that other stuff. Check out freedomin5minutes.com. If you want to start developing in 5 minutes, if you want to develop your standard operating procedures, your processes, go and check it out. There's a masterclass on it. You can take what's in that masterclass and start running with it. That's how detailed it is. If you want a virtual systems architect, you can get one of those too. They're amazing. They are far and above better than anything that's out there. They're people who are just amazing at what they do. They'll develop your systems they'll take what you show them, document it, and then they're able to do it. So you literally get freedom in 5 minutes. You never have to do that task ever again. So go check out freedomin5minutes.com. And until then, I'm going to see you in the next video. I'm not even sure what it's going to be about, but I'm sure it's going to be about systems, processes, and things that will help you to live a free and productive life. So I'll see you in the next Freedom in 5 Minutes video.